Hi, and welcome to the Billionaire Journey podcast. By the way, if you have not subscribed to our newsletter, please go over to thebillionairejourney.com, thebillionairejourney.com, and subscribe. We have fantastic gifts awaiting you over there. See you on the other side. All right, so today we're going to talk about the power of journaling and why it's a practice that can benefit everyone. Yes, it's a practice that can benefit you listening to me right now. So, first, let's even look at what exactly is journaling, right? And then we'll now go over to talk about how it can benefit you and how to go over starting journaling. At its most basically, journaling is the art of writing down your thoughts and feelings in a structured way, right? Journaling is the art of writing down your thoughts and feelings in a structured way. You know that moment where you're thinking about a lot of things. Now, journaling helps you to write down those thoughts in a structured way. This can take many forms, from traditional paper diary, just like a lot of people do, to a digital document. For example, you could use Google Doc and what have you, or even a series of audio recordings. The important thing about journaling is that it's a space for you to process and reflect on your experiences and emotions. Okay, so now I hope that is clear. So now let's talk about why journaling is so important. One reason is that it can help you to gain insight into your own thoughts and feelings, right? It helps you to gain insight into your own thoughts and feelings. By writing down your experiences and emotions, you can actually kind of better understand what's going on inside of your head, and you can identify patterns or issues that you may not have noticed over a period of time or before. Actually, journaling can be especially useful for people who are struggling with things like anxiety, depression, or other health concerns. As it can actually provide you a safe space to explore and work through difficult emotions. So it's journaling is not all about just health or mental health issues, or how to develop your mental health. Journaling can also be a powerful tool for stress management, right? So, for example, by writing down your worries and concerns, you can clear your mind and feel more grounded and focused. Um, not just that, you see, the art of physically penning down things on paper, or writing down things with a keyboard on your laptop, can be a calming and therapeutic activity in itself. All right, so another benefit of journaling that we can look at is that it can improve your memory and recall. There's I remember when I wanted to write my book in 2020, 2018, yes, I believe. So I started writing it about 2015, and but one of the things that actually helped me to finish writing that book is because I had journaled. So a lot of things, writing down the exact date, the exact time, some of the time I wrote down the exact time that thing transpired in my life, and it helped me to actually write the book that became an Amazon best-selling book. So studies have shown that writing about an experience can help you to retain information and recall it more easily later on, unlike just depending on your mind. This can be especially useful for students or anyone who needs to remember a lot of information on a regular basis. You see, but journaling isn't just about personal growth and self-improvement. It can also be a great way to document your life and preserve memories for future generations, right? So, in my studies in the university, we studied what we call conservation, right? So, for example, if you use something very well today and then you're able to preserve it for future generations to recall, that means you've conserved it, and that it becomes not just useful for today but a benefit for the future generations. So whether you're writing about a big life event or everyday moment, you see, a journal can be a unique and valuable record of your experiences. So, how do you get started with journaling? Right? How do you get started with journaling? The most important thing here is to find a method that works for you. So, there's no like one method works for all, So, you have to just look at what method would work for you. This could be a physical diary, like we earlier mentioned. You see, you could buy a book or a journal, so to say, so people call it journal. So you could buy a book and use it as a diary and just continually write the stuff on it. And some of the time you could write it in a digital document like a Google Doc. Recently, I started doing some journaling and I use Google Doc for that. But the one that actually really helped me the most was writing in a physical book. And at the time, especially the one I mentioned where I was able to recall several things for my book that I published, it was a small book, so I always put it on my in my pocket, and anywhere I go to, I go with that book. So, and whenever I write, whenever I see something that I want to write, I just bring out the book from my pocket and then I just write. And one of the things that actually motivated me to start journaling was when I read about Apostle Paul, right? Apostle Paul is one of the is one of the followers of Christ, that wrote many of the epistles in the Bible. And I learned that even while he was in the prison and anywhere he went to, he would always go with a pen and a paper, and that actually helped him to write a whole lot of things, documenting it for the future. So anywhere I go to, I go with my journal, my small journal, and I put it in my pocket, and that is what I use to write. But today things are actually even easier, right? So you could use a digital document or even a voice memo app on your phone. For example, if you're using an iPhone, there's a voice recorder, and if you're using Android, you could download recorder, like smart voice recorder, and begin to journal. Take or journal whatever you want to journal. Right. So basically, just choose a format that you feel comfortable with and that you'll be able to stick with. Right. So it's not all about just writing. When we're talking about journaling, several people, I also used to think that journaling is all about writing, but it's not all about writing. You know, um, you could use a voice recorder and begin to journal that way. Just make sure that it's secured in a way that you could recover it whenever you need them. But I think that writing, it's perfect because you're able to just glance at the information that you need, unlike when you are just listening to the audio over and over again to find out what information you need. So that is what I think about the different types of format. So next, we want to talk about the frequency, right? So you can decide to choose the frequency that works for you. Some people prefer to write, in their journal every single day. And, I think that is also amazing, why older people may only journal once a week or even less often. So some people just journal whenever they just feel like. But you can decide to choose whatever actually works for you. The important thing is to find a routine that can stick to and that you can feel that you can feel manageable, right? So just choose a routine that you feel comfortable with. All right. And finally, I need to also tell you that don't worry about doing it right, in quote. Don't worry about doing it right, because there are no rules when it comes to journaling. So don't stress about having to write a certain amount or follow a specific structure. So the important thing is it works for you and you're feeling better about it, right? So just let your thoughts and feelings flow freely and be as honest as possible, because this is your journal, right? Yesterday we talked about how to become more authentic, right? How to be your authentic self. And to be honest with you, one of the things that we talked about is being honest, being transparent, and having integrity. So if you're journaling, right, just ensure that when you're expressing your thoughts and feelings, make sure that you do that freely and be as honest as possible. So journaling is a powerful and versatile tool that can benefit all ages, right, and walks of life. Whether you are looking to gain insight into your own thoughts, feelings, or manage stress, or improve your memory, or even document your life for future generations, journaling is a practice that I believe is worth considering. And I hope that, you know, in the nearest future, by the time you look back and you say, wow, so I've been able to do this, I've been able to improve at this, and then you're able to look at your journal and say, yeah, I was able to do this. You feel really, really better. You feel really, really good. There are times that I look at some of my journals and I was like, wow, so I wrote these things years back and today I'm living them, right? So I hope that, this episode of the Billionaire Journey podcast helps you, and I hope that you start journaling, because it could be a very great way to improve you personally. Thank you very much for listening to today's episode, and I look forward to seeing you on the next episode. Bye.